7:25 p.m. today, the Phillies made it official that Cole Hamels was placed on the disabled list, which would normally cause concern. Approximately 25 minutes later, an earthquake of all things was felt all along the East Coast and into Canada, including here at Citizens Bank Park, where Phillies right fielder Hunter Pence was at the unexpected moment. He wasn't alone. There were not only workers here at the ballpark, but also more than 200 ladies who were part of the Baseball 101 program that was going on all day long. Even Roy Halladay interrupted his workout program to head back to the clubhouse, and everybody here at the yard headed outside the yard for about 45 minutes before the all-clear was given. And now we get set for baseball. Everything is fine here at Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies get set for Game 2 of this 3-game series against the New York Mets. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. We'll talk to Sarge a little later on in the telecast. Wheels, of all things, an earthquake in Philadelphia. It registered over 5 on the Richter scale down in Virginia. It's the largest earthquake since 1994 in the city.
Yeah, I think we were out of town in 94. Today I was on the Blue Route in my car, so I didn't feel anything. But, you know, talking to you when we got here and all the people that have been around the ballpark, there was some shaking and shimmying going on around here.
Yeah, and everything is good here at the park. In fact, at about 5 p.m. Eastern time, the Phillies announced that everything was fine with the ballpark and we would have baseball here tonight. Now, we do not have Cole Hamels on the roster anymore. He's on the disabled list, but will make a start next week, and it seems to be a common occurrence for this Phillies ball club.
Well, last year it was very difficult with 18 players on the disabled list. You see 15 at this point. And, you know, you go over most major league teams, and right now a lot of guys are on the disabled list. It's just the way it is right now in professional baseball, maybe in some other sports. It's one of those things nobody really cares how many guys you have on the DL. You have to ride it out, do the best you can. In the case of this organization, because of some depth and some really good moves by Ruben Amaro Jr. and other guys in the front office, they've been able to withstand it very well.
Well, Pete Orr has been added to the roster to give some depth to the infield with Rollins going on the DL yesterday. The Phillies will deal with Jonathan Neese tonight. He was supposed to start last night, but because of a side injury, he was moved to tonight.
You never know what you're going to get from Jonathan Neese, Tom. This guy can be really good. He's a prolific sinker ball pitcher, throws a lot of ground balls, and he gets ground balls with a cutter, too. Now, this is a high fastball, but that's not where this guy lives. He's going to bust the ball in on right-handed hitters and get his ground balls. He'll throw away to right-handed hitters. He has a pretty good breaking ball that you see there, curve and slider. And when he's on, he can be very, very difficult. He used a changeup right there to get an out. Got off to a slow start against the Phillies this year. You see the first start that he had on April 7th, not so hot. But since then, pretty good. And especially in 2 games that he pitched at Citi Field, he has been excellent. The highlights we were just showing you were a game that he pitched on July the 16th, a Saturday afternoon, when he bested Cole Hamels in that game. But what you look for from Jonathan Neese, if he's on, are a lot of ground balls.
Well, the Phillies will put a couple more right-handers into the lineup tonight against Jonathan Neese, including John Mayberry at first base, and Ben Francisco will be out in the outfield. Neese will be opposed by Vance Worley. They squared off earlier this season up at Citi Field. Well, we talked about John Mayberry, the fact that he is in the lineup again. He's hit in 5 consecutive games. His numbers have been outstanding. The lineups and first pitch for tonight's ball game when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Toyota. Get incredible deals during Toyota's nationwide clearance event going on now. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Philadelphia down to Virginia up toward the New England area. An earthquake registered earlier today around 2 o'clock or about 1:30 or so between that time. And it was kind of interesting.
As Jerry Lee Lewis would have said, there's a whole lot of shaking going on.
I'd never been part of something like that. Sarge said, it's nothing. I was part of them all the time when I lived in Southern California.
He grew up in the San Fernando Valley. That was no big deal to them growing up in California.
Well, it's turned out to be a nice night here in Philadelphia. The Phillies take the field behind right-hander Vance Worley. The fans are settling in. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Angel Pagan. Ruben Tejada, the shortstop, bats second. David Wright hits third, followed by Lucas Duda, the right fielder. Jason Bays in left field, he'll hit fifth. Nick Evans sixth. The catcher's Josh Tolle. Justin Turner, the second baseman, hits eighth. And batting ninth and pitching, he's been pretty good against the Phillies. His left-hander Jonathan Neese. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Vance Worley, who's making his 16th start. And he comes into this ball game with an 8-1 record.
Phillies have won the last 11 games that he started. He's won 6. And done a good job for the Phillies. You know, he had very few poor outings this year. One of them happened to be against the New York Mets and Jonathan Neese in a game in New York. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. Overall numbers against the Mets, and that includes that game in New York when he got hit pretty hard.
Phillies have not lost one of Worley's starts since the 29th of May against New York. That's 11 straight starts that they've won.
Time now for a Nissan Keys to tonight's ball game. It is really pretty here tonight. Just couldn't even be nicer than last night. And well, the Worley-Schneider combination, that has been really good. Brian Schneider has handled Vance Worley tremendous this year, and they're very successful together. A little more playing time tonight for John Mayberry and Ben Francisco. Ryan Howard has a little bit of a balky heel problem, left foot. And, of course, Raul Ibanez, well, he may have sat anyway tonight, but what did he get, an injection today?
Got an injection. It wasn't a cortisone shot, but it was a cortisone-like injection to that groin. So we'll see if he plays tomorrow. Charlie Manuel had mentioned earlier today that Ryan Howard had a sore instep, but it actually, as Wheels alluded to, is more toward the Achilles than anything else, the heel area. Here's Angel Pagan to lead things off. And the first pitch of the night is in there for strikes or underway. It's 0-1. Worley, 23 years old, out of Sacramento, California. He'll turn 24 before the end of the year, the end of the baseball season. And it's 0-2 to Pagan.
Yeah, and one thing about him, and you can usually tell early with Worley, he was really good here the other night before the rain delay. When he's down, he's effective. When he's up, he gets hit. And his pitches were down early in that game, and you could tell he was going to have a good ball game.
0-2 the count to Pagan. A switch hitter batting left-handed. Pagan was lifted from last night's ball game because of what they termed a stomach virus. Now, there was a point in the game yesterday when his spot was due up and he was nowhere to be found. Well, at the end of the inning, he apparently didn't feel well, went up to the clubhouse and was in the lavatory, and then all of a sudden it was time to hit. Took him a little longer to get out there, so he's aboard to start the top of the first. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. He is ready.
Yeah, like a rally cap already. Now, Mets, you know, they keep trying to get a quick run here. Pagan can really run at first base and steal a bag. Tejada looks like he can spray it around a little bit. They could bunt. They could play hit and run. They could let him steal. See how they want to approach this.
Pagan doesn't go on the first pitch. It's taken inside. It's 1-0 by Tejada. Tejada overall hitting .277. No homers, 24 runs batted in. Since he's been brought back up from the minor leagues, he's hit .378. And that's why he's been moved up to the 2 spot. He had 2 hits in last night's game.
Yeah, no sign of anything other than the fact that Pagan may try to steal a base.
Pagan this year has stolen 26 bags. He's been caught 6 times.
Most prolific base stealer in the league is on the disabled list, of course. They're shortstop Jose Reyes. Big lead.
He goes, pitches it back to the middle, off Worley. He finds it, hustles the throw, not in time. Pagan's going to third. He'll get there easily. And for the 7th time this year, Vance Worley is hit by a ball back to the box.
Well, that's because he pitches away a lot and they hit the ball back through the middle. And he's like a dartboard out there, but normally he makes the play after that happens. He couldn't get to this one. Ball was up in the strike zone. He couldn't find it right away. Now by the time he finds it, really good base running by Pagan because nobody's at third base. See, Polanco had come running in to try and field the ball. Pagan sees that, and with his speed, is able to get to third. So the Mets are kind of dinking and dunking him here in the first inning. Have a couple base runners.
So first and third with nobody out. David Wright is the batter. 2 for his last 15. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. David Wright had a closed-door meeting with Terry Collins after last night's game. The Mets did not play particularly well last night. They haven't played well at all here in August. And Wright apparently told Terry Collins not to give up on the team, that they're going to focus and try to finish up the season strong because there are guys that are playing for jobs next year.
He's
not, the count.
And he's not one of them.
No, he is not playing for a job next year. Terry Collins said, we're not hitting and we're not pitching. That's a bad combination.
You're going to lose when you do that.
Asked if his team was overmatched last night. He said, we're playing like it. A little low, 2-2.
Really would love a double play ball here right now with Vance Worley. Give up a run for 2 outs. Stay out of a big first inning.
Foul ball, and Wright stays alive. Lucas Duda is on deck.
Pitcher got hit already with a ball, and now Brian Schneider gets one off the foot.
The ball didn't run back the way Worley wanted it to. It's 3-2. So nobody out. Runners on first and third.
They want to play aggressive right now. It would be aggressive to start a runner with nobody out.
Mookie Wilson just whispered something to Tejada. He doesn't go, and the pitch is hit toward third. Backhanded by Polanco. He's coming home with it, and they got Pagan easily. One away here in the first.
That's a good job by both sides. I mean, the runner has to go there. What you're trying to do on that ball is make him come home. Well, Polanco saw right away his only play was to come home. They stay out of a double play, even though there probably wasn't going to be a double play. And it's 1 out, and they still have first and second, and the Phillies get an out, and there's no run on the board. So, as I said, both sides executed correctly. He's supposed to go here now. They've already discussed that, and he does go. And he's going to be out by a lot, but they still have a runner in scoring position and only 1 out.
And a fast runner at that in Ruben Tejada. So now the Phillies truly can set up to turn 2 and get out of the inning. As Lucas Duda's the hitter, and he takes strike 1.
Polanco being the smart player that he is, too, and the ball's hit to your right side like that towards the line. You have no chance to go around the horn anyway. Throw the ball home, and Schneider gave him a nice lane to throw.
Not being held on, and quickly it's 0-2. Duda playing right field tonight. He went in late, where he switched from first base to right field late last night. He's had a good month of August. He's hitting .313 during the month. Angel Pagan is the first out here in the top of the first.
And a very good base running by him to go first to third on that play.
Check swing. That's a fair ball, I believe. Worley picks it up, throws to first. Mayberry tags the bag. Nothing's called, and now Tim Welke puts his hands up.
He wants some help.
He didn't see it.
He doesn't know whether or not that hit Duda or not, and Duda thought it hit him. That's why he stood there. So this is the right thing to do for Welke. Say, hey, do you guys see anything?
Well, and he let the play develop before he called time.
Yeah, he didn't see anything. I mean, the way the batter reacts, it hits him. You know, Duda, he's not going to just stand there like, yeah, it hit him. Hit him right in the hip.
Yeah, Welke's eyes are closed.
Yeah, right there. Now, somebody had to see that. Now, if they didn't, the Phillies are going to get a heck of a break.
Right. It'll be a 1-3 putout. Welke's the crew chief. Andy Fletcher's at first. Jim Reynolds at second. And Mike DeMuro over at third.
And you saw the way that Worley didn't even come after it because he knew it was a foul ball.
That's a long conversation.
Well, nobody saw it real well, that's for sure. You know, for them not to want them to come in right away and say, hey, it hit him, it's dead ball, it's foul.
All right, so they're going to call it foul.
Yeah, and that's correct. That's a good job.
So the runners will go back. Charlie Manuel's going to come out and get an explanation.
He's going to want to know now, what took so long for that?
Yeah. Were you definitive in what you saw?
But they got it right. You know, right there, it's a check swing, goes right off his hip. That's a dead ball foul, even though it went out into fair territory. Shaking his hand there. He's going to make sure he knew it hit him.
So Tejada goes back to second. Wright goes back to first here at the top of the first. Again, Worley's ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up high, 2-2. Strike 3. Off-speed pitch. 2 outs. That was a high changeup.
Yeah, he threw some breaking balls in that at bat, along with fastballs, and then, as Tom said, a changeup there. He doesn't want to throw it here. That is not a good spot for a changeup, but it froze him, and he got the out.
Yeah, he surprised him.
Yeah, he does not want it in that area.
Well, that'll bring Jason Bay to the plate with 2 on and 2 outs here in the first. And Bay takes strike 1. Jason Bay was 0 for 3 last night. Look at that. 0-9 with the Red Sox. 36 home runs, over 100 runs batted in.
That's why he was such an attractive free agent signing.
With the Mets in 2 years, he's hit 15 home runs.
And he missed a lot of last year, though, right?
He did. Concussion.
With a concussion. But your point, well taken. He's a disappointment.
Lays off a breaking ball. 2-1.
Worley working real hard right now to get out of this inning with no damage, when it looked like you know, the Mets could have something going.
Worley's allowed 9 first-inning runs so far this season.
Got to be careful here now, because he just went fastball, went breaking ball to go 3-1, and Bay's going to sit fastball.
Schneider sets up outside, and it's ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Nick Evans. So this long inning continues, and Evans, who came in as a defensive replacement in a double switch last night, starts tonight over at first. Just missing low. It's 1-0.
Well, at least he's down for the most part, and you know, you're not going to get hurt as badly down there.
Rich Doobie had a couple of bullpen sessions today. Roy Oswalt threw a session. Cole Hamels threw a session. There's a strike at the knees. 1-1.
We can get in the whole Hamels thing later. They need another infielder around here. And so Hamels is going to, what they say, he's going to pitch Monday.
Monday in Cincinnati.
They could backdate him, and he's fine. But they really do need another guy because of the injury to Rollins and the uncertainty with Polanco.
That's why Pete Orr is here. And another strike. 1-2. That one at 91. That's the fastest pitch he's thrown in this first, but at really good location, which is even more important.
And it was down. Now he can do some different things ahead in the count here. Just so he stays down in the zone.
The bases are loaded. 28 pitches so far. The pitch. A slider. And Worley thought it was a strike. Wow. Like everybody else did too.
Can't believe he didn't swing at it. That was so close. The hitter's going to swing at this pitch with 2 strikes.
Yeah, it sure was. Looked like a good tail outside at the last minute.
Yeah, but how do you not chase it?
And a called strike 3. Came back with a fastball on the outer edge. And how about Vance Worley pitched himself into and out of trouble here in the top of the first. It took 30 pitches, but pitch number 30, probably the best one of the inning as he gets Nick Evans looking, and he leaves the bases loaded here at the top of the first. Pitches to get through the inning. Now his offense will get its first look at Jonathan Neese. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup here in the bottom of the first. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Hunter Pence and John Mayberry. Ben Francisco's in left field batting sixth. In the bottom third of Valdez, Schneider, and Worley. And they'll face Mets left-hander Jonathan Neese, who comes in with an 11-10 record. This is his 26th start of the year.
See, he can strike you out, too. He's not a big guy for walks. More hits than innings pitched. Normally, as the game goes along, you figure out what you're going to get out of Jonathan Neese. He can blow sky high during certain games. That's my point right there in the Southwest Airlines scouting report. He can get wild, but he also can pitch a really good game because the guy has good stuff, above average stuff.
Well, he's pitched in 2 games against the Phillies at Citi Field. He won both of those and pitched in 2 here, lost both. One of those starts was better than the other. And Victorino slaps it to the right side, right at Evans, 1 away. Mentioned that Jonathan Neese was supposed to start yesterday's game. Not that it mattered because Dylan G worked on his normal day. But he was taking some swings late last week, and I think he tweaked something, but he threw his bullpen, so he was fine, but they just decided to give him an extra day. There's Polanco, his average at 278 with 4 home runs, 40 runs batted in. 2 for 4 last night in his return from the DL.
Ooh. That looked a little high.
Well, he called Duda out on that pitch that was up a little bit, so that's where he's going to call it today, it looks like. Foul ball off to the right, 1-2. Phillies are 9-3 in their last 12 against the Mets. And they begin play tonight, 6.5 games over the Braves in the division. And a called strike 3. 2 outs here in the first.
That's a really good breaking ball there. Backdoor curveball. I mean, about Nice has weapons. You know, you look through a lot of ground balls. He can flip that curveball up there once in a while. Throws a cutter into right-handed hitters. Just depends if you can catch him on a night when he gets wild.
In fact, earlier in the year, the Phillies probably caught him on that kind of night. He was wild out of the strike zone, but also in the strike zone. Here's Utley. Utley 0 for his last 7. Takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Two for 7 in his time against Jonathan Nice in his career. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Joe Berchtold from Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Joe will win $100. Got the coast handle the last couple of nights.
Yeah.
Cape May Courthouse yesterday.
Some Jersey contestants trying to hit a home run for him. Everything worked out last night early. Mayberry John hit his early in the ball game.
It's nice to sprinkle the prosperity around the Garden State, Will.
Certainly is.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nice, and the Phillies go down in order here in the bottom of the first. 12 pitches for Jonathan Nice. We're through 1. We go to the second. Scoreless game. Follow the Phillies with the MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the second, Josh Tolley, Justin Turner, John Nice. Bottom third of the order against Van Swarler.
Let's see if he can settle down a little bit and get him out quicker in this inning, so that he doesn't have a short outing. 30 pitches, tough first inning, but a 0, and that's all that matters.
The way Cliff Lee pitched last night, 7 innings. The bullpen is pretty well rested right now after a long weekend. David Herndon pitched 2 scoreless innings last night to preserve another shutout for the Phillies staff. The 0-2 pitch to Tolley. On the hands, that's going to drop in front of Francisco for a base hit. Oh, it happens once every 14 million years, and the next time around is September 19th on PHL 17. TV's funniest comedy, The Big Bang Theory, is coming 5 nights a week. at 7:30 and 11. It all starts September 19th right here on PHL 17. Justin Turner lines one to left field. That's going to be over the head of Francisco. He plays it well. Tolley goes to third. The throw goes to no man's land. And it'll be second and third with nobody out here in the top of the second. I think Ben was a little indecisive on where he wanted to throw that ball.
Yeah, it was a breaking ball right there. It's down a little bit, but Turner hit it hard. It goes off the base of the wall on one hop. And then Ben Francisco, you want to throw this ball back into second base. You know, not that you're going to keep him at first, but try to.
23rd double of the year for Turner. Jonathan Neese takes a strike.
Well, just a flat out struggle early in this game so far for Vance Worley. Reminds you a little bit of that game the Mets hit him with up in New York.
Or even that Dodger game.
Yeah.
Where he did give up a lot of runs early and was lifted from the game. The Phillies eventually came from behind. Now here, he's worked out of trouble, even though he's gotten into it.
I think he gave up 6 in that game.
He
early,
did.
5 or 6.
And a called strike 3. So Neese is down looking. Third strikeout for Worley. And back to the top of the order for Angel Pagan.
The infield was kind of halfway. You know, they were figuring that the runner at third with nobody out and the pitcher hitting is not going to go on contact there. So, you know, they were going to play a little bit so that a little squirter wouldn't go through for 2, but not all the way in. And now they go back, well, more to a normal depth because they want the second out here even if they give up a run. The only reason Utley, well, now he's going to back up. I'm thinking the only reason Utley could possibly be up would think that Pagan's going to try and drag one.
Even though he spent some time on the disabled list, Pagan, as you saw there, has been one of the more productive hitters for the Mets. That's a foul ball, and it's 1-1. Beltran, who was traded to the Giants, is still the Mets leader in home runs and runs batted in.
Wow. He's been gone a few weeks. Played his first game here when the Giants were here.
Yeah, the Mets were in Cincinnati when that trade was made. Oh, 1-2 the count.
One thing about Worley, you know, he does battle. You know, he doesn't have the greatest stuff in the world, velocity and all that, but he will compete. And he's trying like heck right now to limit the damage in this inning.
He got him on the inside corner with a cutter. 2 outs, back-to-back strikeouts for Worley.
What I mean about it, you know, he just does not back off. And there's adversity all over the place tonight, and he just keeps coming after him. There's a little breaking ball cutter, as Tom said there. Cutter, slider action. And that looked like a strike. Pagan complained leaving home plate, but that looked like it had the plate.
Well, for Worley, of his 78 strikeouts this year, 39 have been looking.
Interesting. Pagan still complaining about it.
Ruben Tejada takes strike 1.
Well, when he looks at that later, he may just have to say that guy made a good pitch on me. Right?
If there's anybody in front of him, but he's saying something to somebody.
He's muttering.
Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have runners on second and third. Tolley's on third. Turner's on second.
That looked like a breaking ball there too, or cut or something moved hard away from him.
One and two the count to Tejada. And the pitch. Did he go? No. Andy Fletcher was not buying into the action.
That's another slider, just like Evans last in, on how they don't swing at it. Look how close this is to take. Well, he checks at it. He held up. But that's really a good job by Tejada not to swing at that thing.
3-2 the count.
That's the same pitch you got a strikeout on last inning or close. It's a little runner coming back on the outside corner, and this time no.
David Wright is on deck. The runners lead off. The 3-2. Called strike three. He did it again. He struck out the side with the same two-seamer that he used in the first inning to get the final out with the bases loaded. 5 strikeouts for Vance Worley in the game. In this inning, he came after the first 2 hitters got aboard. Here comes the last one, and it's a beauty. With the deposit, fans can now be placed on the priority wait list for 2012 season ticket plans. Deposits do not guarantee a ticket plan, but do hold a place on the priority wait list. See the ticket section at Phillies.com for details. Hunter Pence leads off the second in a scoreless game, despite the fact that the Mets have had 5 base runners so far.
Well, just typical what we were talking about with Worley last inning, that he just competes. He's in all kinds of trouble, and you figure he's got to give up a run here, a run there, and you look up 2 goose eggs. And the Mets have to be just very frustrated.
2-1 the count to Hunter Pence, who slides up to the cleanup spot with Ryan Howard getting the night off. See what Hunter has done in a Phillies uniform. Lines that one toward the middle. Almost took Justin Turner's glove with him to center field.
Boy, he hit that thing hard, doesn't he? Wish we say that a lot.
Hit that right on the nose.
Oh, a lot of his outs really hit hard. They're going to play him right up the middle. Tom said that this almost broke his webbing. Look at that thing.
Or his hand.
Yeah. Perfect position.
John Mayberry's hit it 5 straight. Mayberry 270 overall, 11 homers and 38 runs batted in. Somebody asked me today why John Mayberry doesn't qualify for the Rookie of the Year award. And it's a good question. As he pops that one into shallow right. Long run for everyone into foul territory. It's a fair ball. Evans makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. The reason Mayberry, who before this year didn't have enough at-bats to qualify, but he had enough days.
Right.
You have to be, if you're on a roster for 45 days during the 25-player limit, so that doesn't include September, then you're no longer a rookie. And coming into this year, John had been on a roster for 114 days overall, but more than 45 days when it's a 25-man roster.
And the only time it isn't a 25-man roster is the month of September.
Right. But I thought that was a good question.
Yeah,
because
very
people,
good question.
You know, he hasn't played a whole lot in the majors.
But he spent time on rosters.
Correct. And it was more 2 years ago than even last year. 0-2 pitch to Francisco. Inside, 1-2. Francisco hits a bullet to left field. First hit of the night for the Phillies. Powerade Ion 4. Focus, hustle, hydrate, and believe. Two outs. Here's Wilson Valdez. Got a chance to play shortstop again, his natural position, with the injury to Jimmy Rollins. There's Jimmy. Gets some treatment during the game. Ice from time to time. Said yesterday that he thinks it will take just the 15 days before he comes back. That's his hope. Said he hurt the groin early in the game on Sunday, aggravated it in his second at bat running up the line and then making the play up the middle. And he said, you know what, I better get out of here because this grade 2 strain, if that's what it was at the time, I don't know if it was in his mind, it's going to get worse. And a liner down the right field line. That's a fair ball. And it hits the half wall. That's going to enable Francisco to go to third. Valdez to second. So the Phillies have second and third now with 2 outs.
Oh, Willie's wearing out that side of the field with some funky hits. Hits them hard, hits them soft. And they're all right inside the bag almost. This one was right inside the line over the bag. They threw the pitch where they wanted. I mentioned how Neese jams right-handed hitters. Well, he really jammed him. He throws a dunker out there, and they get second and third out of it.
And Valdez is safe at second, safe and secure with New York Life. So Francisco's over at third, Valdez at second, Brian Schneider's the hitter.
Pitching to him here with a base open. See if they want to pitch around him a little bit, see if the fish are biting early. If not, they may just put him on with 2 outs and Worley on deck. Although Worley will get up there and hack.
Yeah, he's not afraid.
No, he likes to hit. Right there, they weren't biting. And no sign from the Mets dugout to put him on from Terry Collins.
He got a good pitch to hit.
Yeah.
He's just swung through it. It's 2-1.
Yeah, they challenged him there. No pitch around.
Brian Schneider, like Wilson Valdez, spent time with the Mets. Schneider spent 2 years with New York after he left Washington.
Schneider spent his career in the National League East.
That's good because he's kind of close to home.
Sure is.
Let's see if he can lift that average a little bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. He may have gotten a piece of it, but it was hung on. Josh Tolley. And the side is retired. 3 strikeouts for Nice. The Phillies leave a couple in scoring position. We've completed 2. It's on to the 3rd. Section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, can you name the player that led the amazing Mets in hitting in 1969?
No.
Do you think you could do it in the 7th inning?
No, I'll throw one of those names out of those amazings because they were built for pitching, that team.
The answer will be revealed in the 7th. Well, only a few more days of dancing for the youngsters around the Delaware Valley. Then, much to the delight of mom and dad, they'll be dancing to school.
Is that true?
Well, sometimes.
I don't remember if I got kicked out the door or not.
I would think you did.
I don't doubt that for a second.
David Wright will lead it off. It'll be Wright, Duda, and Bay.
Where's that St. Anastasia school bus? Get it over here.
This is the point in the summer where the kids say, man, the summer went fast.
Boy, it went fast. And the parents are saying, "Ooh, this was a long summer." I guess.
David Wright hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
One of several big outs that Vance Worley's gotten already in this game. That was a first and third nobody out. Then he had a second and third nobody out in the 2nd inning. And 2 goose eggs up there on the board.
About to throw his 50th pitch of the night.
Oh, it's been a struggle. But typical Vance Worley, he just competes and he just does not back off.
Fly ball, shallow right, long run for Pence, long run for Mayberry, a foul ball. Well, they all gave a good effort on it.
Yeah, and thankfully it went foul because that probably a good chance for a double for David Wright.
There's Ryan Howard, who made an unbelievable play in last night's game in foul territory.
Yeah, he sure did.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Milwaukee shutting out the Pirates 7-0. Now the Pirates did win last night in the 2nd game of that doubleheader, but they've really struggled against the Brewers.
Snapping a 13-game losing streak against the Brewers over 2 seasons.
Time to take a look at the Mazda League leaders, the best records in the month of August. The Brewers at 17-4, and the Phillies at 14-5. And no surprise that the Braves are there. How about the Rays, who are making a run? That ball got into the arcade level pretty fast.
Got out in front of that just a little.
Somebody's got an earthquake sign already, Wheels.
Yeah.
Wright fouls another one off.
Missed that today. You don't feel them in a car. Well, normally.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't feel it in the car.
Just driving along the blue route. Found out about it later. Got your description. A lot of other people.
Ground ball toward third. Polanco gets in front of it. And an easy throw. One away. So one out, and that'll bring Duda to the plate. He struck out. Phillies have a lot of players who are from the West Coast, so today's earthquake, today's rumbling, which shook the clubhouse, was not a big deal to them. Kyle Kendrick was saying that he has a lot of, he's been through a few of them. I'm sure Chase Utley's been through a few shocks. Charlie Manuel, who was over in Japan for a few years, he said that's nothing.
Yeah. He was more interested that the epicenter was near his hometown.
Right. It was in Mineral, Virginia.
In Virginia. Yeah.
2-0 pitch to Duda. Ball's hit pretty well to left. Then Francisco, a step from the track, makes the catch. Well, there's Mineral, Virginia, the northern part of Virginia. And that's where the epicenter was for a 5.9 magnitude earthquake. And it was felt up through Pennsylvania. Folks in New York even said they felt a little of it. And into Toronto as well. He's going to be mad I stole his line.
Really? I looked around. Did our guy come in here?
0-1 pitch to Jason Bay. There's a strike. It's 0-2.
That stuff will rub off after a while.
Worley already with 5 strikeouts. He's looking for a 1-2-3 third.
Oh, he could use a, what's he into, a 11 pitch inning now? That's low if he could get out of here with 12.
Yeah, 30 pitches in the first inning. This will be the 15th this inning.
15th this inning.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 6 strikeouts for Worley. That one's swinging. All the others were looking at it. It's a 1-2-3 top of the third. He's retired 6 in a row. Maybe he's found something as we go to the bottom of the third. includes unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play 10 times the money. The new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. And by Mazda. Zoom Zoom. Home half of the third. That's nothing. Phillies nothing.
That's what I meant about Worley. May not always look pretty, but he does swing. I think this guy's going to hit a home run someday.
I think he thinks he's going to hit a home run too.
He gets a pitch middle in, because he pulls off. He's like all pitchers are going to pull. Well, maybe Lee doesn't, but most of them are going to pull off. But if a guy misses middle into him sometime, and he pulls it, he could hit the ball in the ballpark.
I said to Cliff Lee today, I said, one of the more enjoyable things last night was watching you run from first to home on Victorino's triple. He said, yeah, there's got to get some runs.
Picking up ribbies for his teammates.
Worley's down looking, one away here in the third. Check out the Phillies Authentic Store at Citizens Bank Park. The store features authenticated game-used items, including a limited edition Roy Halladay no-hitter framed lineup card and autographed photo. For a list of available items and more info, email merch, MERCH, at phillies.com. Stores and kiosks everywhere. Victorino's
place is like a mall.
Oh yeah.
Come in here.
My team, my town, our time. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. He's been pretty good so far. He's making his pitches. But Worley's held up his end of the bargain by pitching out those jams. That's what Neese really likes to do to right-handed hitters. Is come inside. And he will jam a lot of them. Now, sometimes you can beat him when he doesn't get the ball inside enough and leaves it out over the plate and you can hit him. Like that.
Down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a fair ball home run, and boy, was it a long one. 14 home runs for Victorino, and the Phillies are on top 1-0. That was a long home run.
Yeah, that's the way you beat Neese. And Shane is really good at that right-handed, I think, of looking for pitches middle in and looking for a mistake that a guy will leave out over the plate. Now, see, this pitch supposed to be in. He left it up, and he jumped all over that thing. As you said, Tom, that was a long one. From our angle, you can't really tell fair or foul, but you knew it was out.
Well, that went back toward Harry's statue.
Oh, that was a long home run.
Oh, and Joe Bechtold of Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. You've won $100 as Victorino's extended his hitting streak to 11 games.
But that's what, as right-handed hitters against Jonathan Neese, you really have to look for him to make a mistake out over the plate when he's trying to come inside, and you can hurt him. And that's just what Shane did there, I think.
(2-0) the count to Polanco.
You'll see a lot of foul balls on the third baseline from right-handed hitters off Neese when he's throwing his pitches, because he gets it in off the plate enough he can't keep it fair.
Ground ball foul past Juan Samuel.
Like that. That's what happens with him. I mean, one of the best in the business is in New York Yankees right now on telecast, or not on the Yankees, but for MLB, and that's Al Leiter. He was so good at cutting the ball inside and throwing those ooh-ah balls where guys would pull them foul hard, but all it was a strike.
I honestly didn't think Victorino would be able to keep that fair, but he hit it hard enough and got it out front enough.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from our angle, but it probably hooked a little.
Yeah. He missed Pete Orr while he was gone,
I guess.
3-2 pitch to Polanco. Breaking ball, whacked foul.
It's just an example of Shane Victorino, how strong he is. You know, he's not tall, but he is really powerful, especially right-handed.
Line drive, base hit for Polanco. Third hit of the series for him. He hit that ball hard. Drove it right through the middle. So the Phillies have a base runner and a run across the plate here in the third. And Chase Utley's due up.
Well, they could really use him back and swinging the bat.
Hit by pitch, and he's okay with it. Runners on first and second.
He got him out first time by running that sinker down and in on him, and he looked like he tried to come in right away and missed. Didn't miss him.
Chase has got to make it up for lost time.
Yeah, no chance to get out of the way of that one.
And also enables the Phillies to put a right-hander up now with runners on first and second. Dan Worthen out to the mound to talk to Jonathan Neese.
Phillies has some pop in this lineup tonight, right in these spots right now, in Pence, Mayberry, and Francisco against a left-handed pitcher. Those are three formidable right-handed hitters.
Dan Worthen's a holdover from the Jerry Manuel regime. He took over when Rick Peterson was let go.
Left-handed pitcher, pitched for the Montreal Expos at one time.
Hunter Pence lined out to the second baseman Justin Turner, who was shaded toward the middle. Takes upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes.
John, we talked about him last night. He plays a really shallow center field. Makes it a little bit tough on a third base coach with 1 out, especially when the runner can't get a great jump if the ball's in the air, you know, to score a guy. There's Polanco, and you saw where Pagan is.
Juan Samuel is, well, he's keeping out of the way, and he also is trying to get into the eyesight of Placido Polanco.
They're trying to get an angle when they do that too, to really pick up the middle infielders coming in behind.
It's a dangerous spot to be.
Oh, it is. Helmet or no helmet. Especially with a pitcher who pitches inside the right-handed hitters. I guess if you're a third base coach, you got to block that out.
That angle makes the camera shot makes him look closer than he is, but he is close.
Oh yeah.
Phillies lead at 1-0 thanks to a home run by Shane Victorino. There you go.
Yeah, that's close. You know, that other shot, it looks like he's right beside him. Pence loves to attack that high fastball. Threw him a bunch of slow hooks. He doesn't like those. When you throw him that high cheese, he's after it.
Polanco leads off second. And a number foul.
All of a sudden, Neese is up to 50 pitches. So both these guys working hard here tonight.
His trek toward 50 has been a little different, but the Phillies have gotten base runners the last couple of innings and a run on the home run.
They'll try to go up now to Pence. Fanatic having a good time out there. Break the ball down and maybe try to get him to chase up high. If he doesn't get it high enough, bam.
Went up with a high fastball.
And that's what they try to do. You know, a lot of times you go down with a curveball like that, and you're going to tempt a guy who wants to chase up with a high fastball, and he got it way out of the zone, but he chased it. That's a good job by Tolley and Nice there. Go down with a curveball and then try to go up high with an intentionally high fastball, knowing that Pence wants after that pitch.
That'll leave it for Mayberry, who's hit in 5 straight. He popped out his first time up. Mayberry not only has hit well for average here in the month of August and since the middle of July, but you saw there he's also hit well with runners in scoring position. That's part of why I think it's partly because he has so many extra base hits recently.
Knocking in runs, that's for sure.
It's even 1 ball and 1 strike. Mayberry playing first tonight for Ryan Howard. Again, as we mentioned before, a little soreness toward his Achilles on the left side, his heel. They don't think it's a big deal, but they just figured they'd give him a night off against the lefty. That one's in the air to left field. I'm not sure where it's coming down. That one is gone. A 3-run home run for Mayberry. 12 homers on the year. How about John Mayberry and what he's accomplished since the 1st of July? This has been really impressive, and the Phillies are on top 4-0.
That's the way his daddy used to hit him. From the left side. Oh, did he crush that? This guy is just hitting some fastball. Oh, that was a breaking ball, and it kind of hung up out over the plate. And that's, as Tom said, you know where it's coming down. That was headed for the back of the lower stands, and it was way up into the seats.
That's what they call majestic. And Francisco follows with a single the opposite way, his second hit of the night. And all of a sudden, the Phillies have put a 4 spot up on the board, but they've sent 8 men to the plate in the inning.
Started innocently enough with Vance Worley striking out, and then Shane Victorino hit the ball in the ballpark. Base hit, hit batter. Knows he got that pitch up a little bit. He says, oh no, but ooh, that's way out. That looked like a slider cutter.
Yeah,
it looked like it was trying to, I don't know whether he was trying to get it in or backdoor him, but whatever it was up and it took a long ride.
12 home runs, 41 runs batted in for Mayberry.
He just got finished talking about all those extra base hits with men in scoring position. 21 of his last 32 hits are extra base hits. That will produce runs.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. That was curveball to Valdez. It's got to make Mayberry feel good, though. I mean, the way he's worked to try to get this time.
Oh, absolutely. 14 home runs now, and 12 of them off right-handed hitters. Yeah, well, he's changed a lot. He has a better idea, Tom, I think, of what it takes to compete up here.
Valdez is down on strikes. That's the 6th strikeout for Jonathan Nice, but he's also given up 2 home runs, one by Victorino and one by that guy, John Mayberry. His was a long one. We go to the 4th with the Phillies on top, 4-0. Green Mountain K-Cup coffee, brewed fresh every cup and delivered by W.B. Mason. For a great cup of coffee, who but W.B. Mason? Well, John Mayberry has had a month of August to remember. Really, the last couple of months have been 2 months to remember. He's swinging the bat so well that he's putting a little pressure on the skipper to get him some more ABs.
I think he's done that a while back there. You start hitting the ball hard the way that he has and the way he runs the bases and the defense he plays, you force a manager to keep and put you in there.
Nick Evans leads it off with the Phillies up 4-0. And a ball inside by Worley. Well, I say that, jokingly, because I think Charlie likes the fact that he's putting pressure on him to try to find him some ABs.
Well, he likes guys that hit the long ball. Oh, and he's changed his stroke. I mean, you really got to be proud of this kid, the way that he goes down to the minor leagues. One of the few kids, you get sit down, he doesn't take a long time. He gets there as quick as he can.
Chopper off the plate, hit hard enough that Utley's there to throw out Evans. And there's one away here in the fourth. That'll bring Josh Tolley to the plate. Well, I think the enjoyable thing is that during this run that the Phillies have put together, you've gotten a chance to see guys blossom that nobody really expected. I mean, Shane Victorino, people probably expected eventually. Jason Worth, John Mayberry. I mean, the list goes on, and it's all part of this formula that leads to championships.
Well, you got to have players that you don't count on that going to be able to have a career year. Mayberry has made a statement because he wasn't one of those outfielders that were maybe even in the top 5 here for them, getting sent back down, and that has a lot to do with your psyche, whether or not you can play here or not. And he went down, to his credit, worked very, very hard, and he's back here and doing what he thought he could do.
Now, it doesn't always work out where you plug this guy in there, this guy in there, but for some reason it has worked out for the Phillies. Now, a lot of it has to do with the developmental staff, the scouts that say, all right, this guy could probably play, but it also has a lot to do with the individual for grabbing that chance and running with it.
No question about it. Having the individual take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and make sure that when you go out there in that lineup that you're doing the job, that keeps you in the lineup. The development, however, with the minor leagues, you got to like the job that they've done, because there's surprise players that have come up here.
Utley back into shallow right. Pence is there as well, and Pence will make the call. 2 outs here in the fourth. A guy like Michael Martinez is a Rule 5 selection. The scouts liked his tools last year, and he has stuck this entire season. He's had some pretty big hits for the Phillies. Not as many as, say, Mayberry, but still some big hits. It's all part of the pieces to the puzzle for teams to win divisional crowns.
When you talk about Mayberry, look at Worley. What a pleasant surprise coming up and pitching the way that he has. Takes a lot of pressure off of the rookie when you have pitchers like the Fighting Field has.
At the knees, 0-2. Fly ball, left center field, playable for Victorino. Actually sliced back towards center a little more, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 10-pitch fourth inning for Vance Worley. So he's found something. He's retired 9 in a row, and it helps that he has a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the fourth. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By WB Mason, who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Bottom of the fourth, Brian Schneider leads it off. It'll be Schneider, Worley, then the top of the order. 8-9-1. Schneider struck out his first time up. Hit toward the right side. Turner out in shallow right field. I don't think I've ever saw anybody play that deep for Brian Schneider on that side.
I was just thinking that, saying, hey, if he's playing conventional, that's usually gonna be a base hit. But you're right, he was all in the outfield and played up the pull. That's taken away a hit.
Vance Worley struck out looking his first time out. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Sarge, we have some distances, some estimated distances on the home runs. They're both pretty long. Give me your thoughts on whose home run did you think was longer, John Mayberry or Shane Victorino?
Wow. I'm going to go with Shane.
I would have gone with Shane also. Worley loops one to right, and Duda knocks it down and back toward the infield. A base hit.
And I said that because Shane's ball kind of hit right down the line.
I'm with you. I thought Shane's was going to go much farther.
Here comes Duda coming in there off a Worley hit there. You see it bounces right in front of him. He does a good job, however, keeping that ball in front of him.
So a one-out base runner. Victorino's the hitter. All right. Victorino's went 388 feet. Mayberry's, they estimated at 395.
Wow. Huh?
I'm with you, though. I thought Victorino's went farther.
Who's doing the distance on the home runs? Who's doing those?
That I don't know. But if you want tomorrow, you can go out and mark it and see if you
Well, I mean, ball hit a long ways when it's going down the line, and
ground ball off the foot of Victorino. It's 1-2.
wow. Is that Chris Wheeler?
Wheels did come back into the booth for a second. I don't know where he was going, but he found whatever he needed.
Well, he keeps track of all the different home runs and the times that they were hit, so he's just probably doing some homework early.
Line drive for Victorino. It is a foul ball. Now that one he couldn't keep fair.
He's getting a lot better at those off-speed pitches. That was a changeup. Got out in front of that. You can always kind of tell when it's an off-speed pitch. Usually hitter's going to be a little bit out in front of a pitch, especially if it's down.
Here he comes. He's cat-like.
I didn't even know it. He kind of scared me a little bit as he was going around. I didn't know. Now, see how he takes? He's just running out of here. And then he waves us off.
He's going to wave us off again. Ready?
Oh, boy. Yeah. That was right on cue, and didn't even know he had said that. Oh, boy.
Off the end of the bat, up the first base slide. There's one. Evans tries to go for the second out, and Worley gets there. 3 unassisted. There are 2 outs. The Phillies are proud to introduce Phillies Fitness, a healthy lifestyles program for children presented by NovaCare Rehabilitation. Children K through high school learn the importance of being active through exercise and making smart food choices. The program is open to physical education teachers during the school year. For more information, email fandev@phillies.com. Polanco fouls it off Tolle. And it's 0-1.
You have all that equipment on it. Usually those foul tips will hit you on the bare leg, someplace that isn't covered. Umpire always gives the catcher a little bit of extra time once he's hit, just to kind of gather himself a little. Take a look at the foul tip there.
Oh, it hit his foot. I thought it might have hit the inside of his leg.
Yeah, that's what I had thought that it hit. Oh, that still hurts. Oh.
Well, everybody's set. The Phillies have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 4-0. Polanco takes inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfielders playing shallow in center and right. It might be tough to score Worley if the ball goes to either of those spots. It goes to left. Bay coming on. He can't get it. He left his feet. That's going to allow Worley to head to the plate, and he's going to score. 5-0 Phillies. It'll be a base hit, RBI. He goes to second on the throw. Sarge, you know it better than anybody. Does Bay or should Bay leave his feet in that spot?
Not in that situation, because you know if you do it, you don't catch it, that it's going to be a run. This right here is a soft line drive going into left field. You see Bay coming in, tried to one-hop it there. There's Worley as he's going in, just kind of jogging a little, and he brings it on in as he sees it. That tells you right there, Worley was not going to run all the way if he had just caught that in a conventional way. But he tried to take a chance, and it blew up in his face.
So 41 runs batted in now for Polanco. He has 2 hits tonight, 4 hits in this series. Worley gets a run scored. And here's Chase Utley. And Utley chops it to the right side. Justin Turner is there, and he takes a beat. And the Phillies will set up for the 1 run. It comes on the RBI single by Placido Polanco. On maybe a misplay by Jason Bay, we go to the 5th with the Phillies up 5. 5 nights a week. Catch the award-winning series 30 Rock weeknights at 6 and 11:30, premiering September 19th on PHL 17. Phillies scored a run in the 4th. That's the combination that scored the run, Polanco and Worley. And Worley will begin the 5th with a 5-0 lead against Nice, Pagan, and Tejada. He struck out his first time up. And he takes strike 1.
Oh, that's been Worley's MO, being able to throw early strikes. Kind of staying out of trouble that way when you're able to do that.
He would probably trade the strikeouts for some quick outs here to keep his pitch count within reason. That 30-pitch first inning really hurt him. But you're right, he is throwing first pitch strikes. And a call, strike 3. Wow. Ties his season high with 7 strikeouts. The Powerball at $47 million will go off Wednesdays and Saturdays. Meanwhile, the Mega Millions at $12 million Tuesday and Friday. So good luck if you decide to play. Major Pagan 1 for 2. You saw there he struck out looking in the second. It was a big out.
Ooh, that was huge.
Fly ball softly hit to left. Well, 2 quick outs now here in the 5th, and here's Ruben Tejada.
Well, you can tell Ben Francisco feels a lot better in left field there just by the way that he moves when balls are hit. Very confident out there. Getting those 2 hits when he hasn't been playing. That is super.
Well, the coaches were out there today. You know, there's usually extra hitting from time to time. And the coaches were out there today getting ready to take some extra hitting. And they looked around and said, well, all the extra men are in the lineup tonight. Mayberry, Schneider, and Francisco and Valdez. 4 of the guys are in the lineup tonight. So Pete Orr came out. Yeah, he was the only one.
Hit by himself.
It's the way it is sometimes during a long year when you have injuries or guys are nicked up. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Tejada. Strike 2.
Well, it does, though. It gives the extra man a chance to see a lot more pitches during the course of a game when they're able to have the extra hitting plus their regular BP.
Ground ball to third. Should be an easy play for Polanco. Tejada runs well. It turns out to be another quick inning for Vance Worley. He retires the Mets in order again. He's retired 12 consecutive hitters as we go to the bottom of the 5th. fifth. Hunter Pence will lead it off. Time to take a look at the Kia minor league players of the week. Tuffy Ghostwitch, boy, he's a good, solid player. And he had 421 over 6 games for the Reading Phillies. How about Tyler Cloud? He's been pitching pretty well. 16 strikeouts in 13 innings for the R-Phils. Reading is leading New Britain 2-1 in the 6th inning as we speak. Matt Rosati hit his 21st home run of the season. He's 3rd in the Eastern League. It was at this point last year where Rosati was brought up to AAA. Actually, it was earlier than this. 2-0 the count to Hunter Pence. Grounds it toward the hole and through. The Phillies are quietly stockpiling the hits against Jonathan Neese. That's their 9th.
Well, that's what you like to do. I mean, you want to keep the pressure on the opposition. And you do that by having base runners, and you wear the pitcher down mentally when you're having good at bats from top to bottom. That's when they have a tendency to make mistakes.
Those are good numbers all the way across the board right there.
Oh, it's been, I mean, this is solid. And this guy here is, I'm just surprised that he was able to change his batting stance so quickly and going into the ball like he is right there. I'm going to tell you, that ball down, when that's coming up to the plate, almost looks like a beach ball. I mean, that's how much confidence. He's short, quick to the ball. You know, he's not getting food on any breaking balls, and he's hitting everything hard.
Well, the Mets didn't really have anybody loosening up until now, but Terry Collins is going out to the hill.
There it is, a fastball on the outside part of the plate. He stands pretty close to the plate. Extension that he gets. Ibanez rooting him on, and I tell you, it's genuine because they pull for one another on this team, and all they care about is victories.
Well, Mayberry now 2 for 3. I think it's always interesting, Sarge, when managers go out to the mound and not the pitching coach. There's usually a different message.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, and some screaming and yelling going on then. And a lot of times, too, to stay focused, make your pitches. You know, sometimes the manager will look out there and the pitcher might have bad demeanor on the mound, like he maybe don't want to be there.
Francisco's 2 for 2 tonight. Phillies have 10 hits in the game. 2 by Mayberry, 2 by Francisco, 2 by Polanco.
Tough pitch. More of a pitcher's pitch.
Well, this could be his last batter. If he loses Francisco, they may go to the bullpen. Beato is up and loosening in the pen. And there's ball 4. So the bases are loaded. Wilson Valdez doesn't even head to the plate because Terry Collins is already coming out. And he's already made the signal to the pen. So Jonathan Neese doesn't get through the 5th inning. A night after Dylan G didn't get through the 4th inning for New York. And the Phillies lead it 5-0, and the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies have really taken advantage of the Mets starters the last 2 nights. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park, where the Phillies leading it 5-0. 2011 season. The Phillies are looking for softball players with outgoing personalities and strong interpersonal skills to be part of the Phillies ball girl contingent. Submit a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered to the Phillies. Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention ball girl applicant. Must be 18 years old. Deadline for submissions is October 1st. No phone calls, please. You can join Bridget, who's to the left, and Emily, who's to the right, and be part of the Phillies ball girls. Wilson Valdez will face Pedro Beato with the bases loaded. Phillies up 5-0, and they could really blow this baby wide open right here. Beato, 48th game, 2-1, a 4.09 earned run average. A Rule 5 pick out of the Orioles organization. He's on for Jonathan Neese. To right field. Duda. That's carrying pretty well. He's out to the track and makes the catch. Pencil score. Mayberry goes to third. It's 6-0 Phillies. And a productive out for Wilson Valdez.
Very productive, and he's been driving in runs again. Every time Charlie puts somebody in there, they seem to really do something, help the team win the ball game. Valdez, another player, not getting a whole lot of playing time, but when he does, he's been delivering more than not. Ball right down the middle, inside out's the ball. Shaking hand. It's a big run.
8 RBIs now, the last 9 games for Valdez. Schneider, a little topper to first. Evans is coming home to get Mayberry. And Mayberry almost under that tag. 2 outs. He was going on contact.
Yeah, this is the ball for me, though, Tom. I mean, that's right in front of you coming in. That's a play you almost don't have to run on, but obviously if you're going on contact and they say, hey, you got to go, you go. But you're looking at that play. It's right in front of you, almost like if it's right back to the pitcher.
Well, and I said went on contact, but he paused a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, then he wasn't on contact.
Yeah, he didn't. You see, he paused just a little bit.
And could have read the ball there. I mean, it's a small thing, but, you know, again, these are the things that over the course of the year when you're doing them right, just makes it a little bit easier for you.
1-0 the count to Van Swarley. Off the end of the bat, a base hit into center field. Francisco's coming home. The throw by Pagan up the third base line. An RBI single for Worley. It's the 45th hit of the year for the Phillies pitchers. Second most in the National League. It's 7-0 Phillies.
Well, I got to tell you, these pitchers are putting a lot of pressure on the everyday hitters. Look out! The ball comes right up the middle. Not only that, he puts a good stroke on the ball. Another RBI right there for Worley. As you see Francisco coming into your pitcher there.
The Arizona Diamondbacks lead the league in hits for pitchers with 46. The Phillies now have 45. And Victorino's the hitter. In the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. Victorino 8th in the league in hitting at .313. Ball's hit pretty well. Pagan misread it. It's over his head. Okay, let's watch Victorino run. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run, and Victorino goes to third with his career-high 14th triple of the season. And the Phillies lead it 9-0. If not for Pagan's speed to get there, that may have been an inside the park home run.
Hardest play for a center fielder is one right at him and one that is low. He misjudges that Pagan. I still think that should be a triple all the way. You can see he jumps up, not high enough, and he's off to the races. 2 runs are going to score once it hits the wall there. He's safe at third base there, safe with New York Life.
Wow. 14 home runs for Victorino, 14 triples. 9-0 Phillies.
Well, it's got to be pretty nice as a hitter. You get 2 hits, or you get a hit on your right side, you turn around on the left side, and still be able to have that same stroke. That tells me, too, Victorino seeing the ball awful well.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. To right field. And the side is retired. But the Phillies scored 4 runs here in the 5th. They sent 8 men to the plate. Last couple of nights, it doesn't matter who Charlie puts in the lineup. They're scoring some runs. On the most recent addition to the Phillies lineup. Since the addition of Hunter Pence, opposing pitchers are forced to take on Ryan Howard, and he has met the challenge as expected. The big piece continues to provide power from the cleanup spot while battling for the top RBI spot in baseball. Number 6 usually takes off in September. He got an early start this season, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way.
Oh, yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet. He's just as proud as he can be.
Well, the Fanatics certainly put on a show in between innings. I think it's the first time Hunter Pence saw the Fanatic put the streak show on. And there he is. He's looking for some help.
I
don't know.
Well, they got 2 characters out there in right field and center field that will give them some play.
We go to the top of the 6th. It's 9-0 Phillies. 9 runs on 12 hits. David Wright leads it off against Vance Worley. Lost in this game because the Phillies offense has exploded again. Is the job Worley's done. 30 pitches in the 1st. And that really set him back. But 11 pitches in the 4th, 9 in the 5th. And it's 1-1 to Wright here in the 6th.
Well, he's had his brush out tonight. He's been painting those sides on the inside and the outside. Good spots he's had the ball so far tonight.
White is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third twice.
It's a good breaking ball. Expand the zone when you have 2 strikes like you do on David Wright.
And he got him. 8 strikeouts for Worley. That is a career high. And as Sarge said, he is just painting every which way.
Well, here it is on the inside. This is after a good curveball. If he has that in the back of his mind, no way you catch up to the fastball. Good pitch.
What away, Lucas Duda. He's a strikeout victim tonight. In fact, Worley's gotten everybody except for the number 7 and 8 hitters. Tolley and Turner on strikes. Everybody else has gone down, either looking or swinging.
It's got to make him, Worley, feel pretty good, especially after the last game that he pitched. Got the rain and was looking pretty good that game, really.
Yeah, they held him out from throwing his bullpen session over the weekend in Washington because if they ran into any kind of trouble, whether it be Friday or Saturday with Kyle Kendrick and Roy Oswalt going, Rich Doobie, I think, was going to use Vance Worley. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball center field. Well, there you go. 4 groundouts, 5 flyouts, and a career high 8 strikeouts.
Well, he's been under control, and again, you're throwing those early strikes, you can get hitters out, expand the zone, and he's been doing a great job of keeping that ball over the middle of the plate. And you look at some of the other pitchers, they pitch the same way on the corners. Roy pitches, Holiday pitches that way. Lee pitches that way, Hamels.
Grounded to third. Polanco backs up on it, has time, throws in time to get Bay. Another 1-2-3 inning for Vance Worley. 15 consecutive hitters retired by the Phillies right-hander. Some pretty impressive stuff. Worley, and I guess you could say the fanatic at Hunter Pence as well, as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Buy Xfinity only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And buy Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's 9-0 Phillies. Not even an earthquake can stop the Phils. That's right. Chase Utley leads it off against Pedro Beato. And there's strike one. Sarge, I know you said before you've been through earthquakes before. I had never been through one. But you said that was nothing compared to Southern California.
Leslie and I were up there talking about it. And she was laughing harder than I was.
Leslie Goodell, Comcast Sportsnet.
And usually, like she would say, in California, they teach you when there's an earthquake, you got to get under the desk. I mean, kind of, that's what you do. You get under the desk in case there's any debris that falls down.
Well, here in the East.
Yeah, you go out in the street and hope that it falls down on your head.
I was going to say, you don't really know what to do.
Well, I think that they need to start a program. How about that? I mean, if you're going to get some earthquakes, you got to know what to do. I saw so many people standing on the street, I thought they were giving away gold nuggets or something. I mean, wow.
3-1 to Utley as we start the bottom of the 6th. Well, I don't think I would have ever thought to go under the desk.
Let me tell you, if you are in a room and their debris starts falling down, I would think that you would get under that desk.
Utley fouls it back. So running is not the right thing to do?
Well, I mean, not the way that I was taught. You know, and then also we were always taught to go right where the door was and stand on, because you have a, well, you hope that doesn't come down. But, you know, we were taught to do that. Also get underneath the desk. Never to run. Never really to go outside and look around.
Well, today at the ballpark, while the earthquake was happening,
yeah,
the Baseball 101 program was taking place, the clinic and luncheon, which was a tremendous success. They raised $13,000 for Phillies charities. As Utley fouls that off his foot.
That hurts.
And here we go. This is what Sarge was talking about. Folks from the Baseball 101 luncheon and clinic. They were quietly and orderly heading out the doors.
Well, Scott Palmer is the one that told them to get outside as quick as they possibly could.
Now you saw that green shirt. There's Scott Brandreth, Phil's director of merchandise right there. He was giving his speech, his Baseball 101 speech, when the earthquake occurred.
Well, why don't we ever get in for some of those things when they're talking? Get there early and see what kind of job he does with that microphone.
I would think he's good.
You do?
Yeah. There's ball 4, and Utley
got hit, didn't he?
Did it hit him? Yeah, it is. Second time tonight he's been hit by a pitch.
Well, Utley's been getting a steady diet of fastballs, breaking balls inside. I think this is how the league so far now is pitching them and coming back.
He's in a little bit of pain still from that foul ball. Michael Martinez is coming to pinch run for him.
Oh, this is what Tom's talking about. Oh, that's the ball that he got hit with right in the foot. Don't think that would hurt as much as the one that he hit off of his leg.
Utley was standing on first when Martinez came out to pinch run for him. Utley took a peek up at the scoreboard.
And he's still looking at it.
Breaking ball for a strike to Hunter Pence.
Obviously, you know, he never wants to come out of the game.
Pence is 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 5th. Ground ball toward third, a foul ball. Nice play by Bridget. She'll find a happy Phillies fan. Over to shortstop. Tejada and Turner turn 2. 6-4-3. 2 outs here in the 6th. And that'll bring John Mayberry to the plate for the 4th time tonight. Well, there's going to come a point, if there hasn't already, where his T-shirt jersey is going to start popping up around the ballpark.
Oh, there's just a matter of time.
Up 9-0. Play a little peekaboo. That game can go on for hours, Sarge.
Oh boy.
One and two the count to Mayberry.
One of the few times you see him come off of a slider. He's been really going out and really connecting with any of the balls that have been up in the zone.
Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Dan Uggla, who hit his 30th home run of the year yesterday, has given the Braves a 1-0 lead. He has scored a run. That's against the Cubs in the 4th. In fact, the Braves are still batting. They have the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 4th.
Well, I tell you, after that All-Star break, Uggla has just taken off and has not stopped hitting. Well, he's always been one of the better hitting second basemen. Got off to a very slow start with the Atlanta Braves this year, but boy, has he picked it up.
Inside 2-2. Well, after the Phillies go on this road trip, which is coming up next week, they'll be home, and the Braves are part of that series there at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies play them 2 more times before the end of the year. 1 series here and 1 series in Atlanta.
Well, you hope the one in Atlanta doesn't mean anything.
Off the end of the bat, back toward the middle. Not hit hard. Retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We've completed 6. We go to the 7th. The Phillies leading it 9-0.
streaker was out there tonight, huh?
Yes, he was.
Time for the Verizon Wireless games. This is the way this game started out, huh? For the Mets, they had base runners all over the place. Didn't score, and then the Phillies have just taken over this game, and what a job by Vance Worley.
Yeah, the Mets are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. That was the first 2 innings.
Yeah.
He's retired 15 in a row as we start the 7th.
They had first and third, nobody out. Second and third, nobody out. Did not score. Tremendous pitching by him, and got some strikeouts in there, too.
Career high 8 so far, and it's 0-2 to Nick Evans.
And the offense just took over and just pounded the ball.
Evans is 0 for 2. Holds on a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Michael Martinez stays in the ball game at second. He came on a pinch run for Chase Utley in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, you know, Chase never wants to come out of games. He took some ball off his legs there, it looked like, right before he went out. He got a day game tomorrow.
Now back to the Windy City in Chicago, where the Braves lead it 5-0 thanks to a Jason Hayward grand slam.
They got 5 runs with 2 outs, right?
They did.
Well, they've been playing great, just like the Phillies have. So, National League East has 2 really good teams.
Evans to left center field. It's pretty well hit. Francisco has time to get there, and it's off the base of the wall. It's hit a little farther than I thought. And that ends a string of 15 in a row as Evans pulls into second with a leadoff double here in the 7th.
The way this game was going, who'd believe Vance Worley would be around the 7th inning, let alone with a 9-0 lead. Bill Meyer answers the phone. They're going to get somebody up. He's up close to 100 pitches.
We mentioned that Worley had retired 15 straight, including the side in order 4 different times. Every time the Phillies do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone.
Ooh, just crossed him up, it looked like.
That hasn't happened often between Worley and Schneider.
Somehow he got a strike on that, too. All that movement back there behind the plate.
Over to second base. That'll be an out as the runner goes to third. How about this is the 14th game that Brian Schneider has caught with Vance Worley on the mound. 14 of his 16 starts. Well, Worley is 7-0 during the previous ones. The Phillies are 11-0.
Well, they have teamed up quite well together.
I think that says a lot for the job that Schneider's done.
Well, just overall, the 1-loss record that he has with the Phillies pitching staff, and you figure Brian's been hurt a couple times this year too. You know, he had the hamstring problems.
Well, the opposition's hitting 180 when Worley's on the mound and Schneider's behind the plate. And Worley's earned run average is 2.25.
It's like Worley's out there right now saying you're not going to score. He just made a nasty pitch on a slider there to Turner. Phillies obviously will have the infield all the way back now. Don't care about a run, just want to get another out.
Fly ball right field, hence a long run, and it's a foul ball. Just didn't have a great angle as it started to carry. Overall, and this is not only Worley starts but also Kyle Kendrick and others, 24-3 this year. That's a heck of a winning percentage.
Yeah.
Here's Carlos Ruiz. He should be back there behind the plate tomorrow with Kyle Kendrick on the mound.
Really nice to be able to give him these days off too.
Little tapper to the right of the mound. Martinez hustles, flips with the glove in time. A run scores, but there are 2 outs.
Michael Martinez replaces Chase Utley, and he makes a play just like Chase Utley. Watching Utley make that all the time. Chase is so good with that play where he'll charge it like that and then flip with the glove. And he's so accurate with it. Well, here comes Michael. Same thing. flips it right to John Mayberry. 4-3, run scores, first run in the series for the Mets.
First run of the series. Pretty amazing what the Phillies starters have done against the Mets offense in these first two games. Here's Scott Hairston. He'll pinch hit for New York. Phillies up 9-1 here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. The stretch for Hairston is much like his stretch in April to start the year. The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Breaking ball, strikeout number 9 for Vance Worley. Some pretty impressive stuff. A career high 9 strikeouts. Worley's gone through 7. He's allowed a run. It's time to stretch. And Mets at hitting in 1969.
Once you know, I ran this by the great Ed Coleman, who was a tremendous. I said, "What do you think about this guess?"
Oh yeah.
And he said he'd go with it too.
Okay.
Cleon Jones.
Cleon Jones is correct. Cleon Jones hit .340 that year that the Mets won the World Championship.
I didn't think he hit that. He's an active player though, wasn't he?
Left-handed fielder, right-handed hitter, which until Ricky Henderson came around, was there anybody else that had done that before? If there were, it wasn't many people.
Yeah, but it wasn't a player that you really, you know, there probably had to be, but you didn't think of him as a really great player. And as soon as we say this, there's going to be somebody.
Mike Baxter's the new left fielder. Willie Harris is the new third baseman.
That is an unusual combination, though, for a position player. A left-handed thrower and a right-handed hitter, and why? Who knows?
By the way, the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Igarashi in for the second time in this series, and he delivers a strike to Francisco. 0-1. It'll be Francisco, Wilson Valdez, and Brian Schneider.
To find out where these guys are hitting.
Well, Harris is hitting in David Wright's spot, so.
Well, they could just be straight up.
Yep.
Seeing as a 9-hole made the last out, so it probably are straight up. Yeah.
Two and two the count to Ben Francisco. He's had a good night. He's 2 for 2. He scored a run after walking in the 5th. Phillies are up 9-1.
Vance Worley's going to go another inning. Unless they hit for him, they don't want to take that bat out of the lineup.
There's Vance. To right field. This is going to be a tough play for Duda. And it's a fair ball, and Francisco's hustled his way to second. The throw nowhere near in time. He hasn't played a whole lot lately, so he's trying to make up for lost time. He has 3 hits. He's been on base 4 times.
There goes one down the line, and Duda can't get there. And boy, it's a Phillies series so far. Everything they're doing, they're playing good baseball, and everything they're doing against the Mets is right.
That'll bring Valdez to the plate. He has a hit and 2 official at bats. He has a sacrifice fly. To the right side. Nice play by Evans. And Igarashi is there to cover. 1 away. Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Terry Collins is coming out. He's got a lefty, Tim Burdack, warming up in the pen. So Brian Schneider is due up. Ross Gloat is out of the on-deck circle. So they'll make a pitching change. So Burdack's going to come into the ball game. 4th pitcher used by the Mets. 9-1 Phillies on top. They've got a runner in scoring position over at third with 1 man down. Game series. We've got a pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th with a runner at third. Follow the Phillies stars of tomorrow at Lehigh Valley, Reading, Lakewood, and Williamsport. All 4 minor league affiliates are close to Philadelphia and easy to visit. Enjoy a fantastic ballpark experience with games all summer long. Go to Phillies.com/minor leagues for more information and to order tickets. That's the minor leagues. Lehigh Valley second place. They've played well this year, 73 and 58. Reading Phillies also in second. Clearwater 1 game over 500. Williamsport is a game out in their division at 37 and 25.
Under that rookie skipper,
Mickey Morandini.
Mickey Morandini. Nice call, Mickey.
Tim Burdack is the new pitcher. You know, there are years where you look at the Phillies farm system and they wouldn't be among the leaders in each of their leagues. Pete Orr is now on deck instead of Glode with the infield in. Francisco's over at third. There's Pete.
So they decided 7's enough for Worley. Did a tremendous job here tonight, especially the way the game started.
Oh, into the count to Schneider.
Well, the Mets are playing serious baseball right now. They're making a pitching change in a 9-1 game, bringing the infield in. I mean, you know, that's doing everything they can. Terry Collins is to show, well, let's try and do things the right way.
Well, Burdack gets the strikeout. He makes the switch for the lefty with the lefty due up.
Right.
And he knows from a Phillies standpoint they only have Carlos Ruiz, a right-handed hitter, available. Everybody else is left-handed off the bench. Peter had a good year with Lehigh Valley. Spent time here in the big leagues. Made the team out of spring training. Played a lot early on. 238, no homers, 3 runs batted in.
Well, yeah, they added him. You know, he was in spring training, obviously, with the club, and they played a lot of positions. Real good inventory to add to your AAA roster to be able to bring back and forth if you need them during the season, and they have. You know, I mean, he doesn't want it to be that way, and you can understand. But you know, you sign on as a AAA guy, 6-year minor league free agent and all that, big league experience, that could happen. You could get yo-yoed. And he's helped when they've needed him.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Francisco still over 30, had a leadoff double. Went to third on a ground out. And Burdack came on and got the 2 lefties. Schneider on strikes, Pete Orr on strikes, and Francisco remains over at third. So Vance Worley's night is done. Michael Stutz is going to come on as we go to the top of the 8th with the Phillies on top 9-1. West Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. by Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. And by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. A beautiful night here at the ballpark. 45,770. Michael Stutz is on here in the 8th. He takes over for Ben Swarley, who struck out a career-high 9, allowed 5 hits in 7 innings, only 1 run. And for Stutz, 5-1, an earned run average of 3.5. 43 strikeouts in 46 innings pitched. It'll be top of the order. Angel Pagan, Ruben Tejada, and Willie Harris due up for the Mets. Well, these last 2 nights have been rather impressive by the Phillies offense, but equally as impressive, the Phillies pitchers have allowed a run in 14 innings, the starters.
Yeah. And you get the feeling Michael Stutz is effective here. They could take it right to the barn. Let him pitch 2 innings, get this one over with. If he can go out there and have a quick 8th inning.
Cliff Lee last night went 7 innings, scored a run, made a nice catch on a little pop-up up the first base line. I said to him today, I said, so that's everything that you wanted coming back to the National League. Running the bases, getting a hit, playing some defense. He said, yeah.
He's a baseball player. He just enjoys every part of the game. You rarely see a pitcher during the course of a game as engaged as he is between innings. You know, normally, and that's their style. They just go sit and think about what they're going to do next inning, talk to the catcher, maybe talk to the pitching coach. He just walks up and down the bench, talks to everybody. He just has fun. But he's different.
Fly ball, shallow right. So Stutz gets it out on 4 pitches, and that'll bring Tejada to the plate. Lee in the month of July, 4.91 ERA. Here in August, well, he's making a run in another Pitcher of the Month award. 4-0 with a 0.58 ERA. Tejada is 1 for 3. He had a little squibber for a base hit his first time up.
Yeah, he hit the ball right off. Well, Vance Ward is like a dartboard out there. It seems like once a game he has to have a ball go off his body.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a squibber. I guess it was hit pretty good. Popped up. Ball carried into shallow right field.
Yeah, and only this one tonight. Usually Vance fields those after they hit him and throws somebody out. This one, he couldn't find it right away, and then by the time he got to it, but then he had a 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and they stayed there.
I asked him about that the other day. I said, you know, about getting hit by all those balls back to the box. He said, yeah, don't forget the one I got hit in the dugout with too.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Here's Willie Harris batting for the first time tonight.
He's young. He can handle it.
Well, he's been a lot of fun to watch.
He is fun to watch, and he's very talented. Love his makeup, the way he just got after him tonight with his men on base.
Whoop.
All right. My turn.
Base hits a right field. So a 2-out single for Willie Harris. It's only the 2nd hit for the Mets since the 2nd inning. And that'll bring Lucas Duda to the plate. Are you a most valuable Fanatic and 14 and under? Well, join the Fanatic MVP Club and receive a Fanatic poster, an MVP lanyard, Fanatic bobblehead. Registration fee is $12. For info or to register, go to Phillies.com/MVP Club. Duda takes strike one. The strikeout of Duda back in the first, with runners on first and second at the time. That's a pretty big strikeout.
Yep.
That was the second out of the inning. Then a walk to Bay loaded the bases, and then Nick Evans went down looking on strikes.
Yeah, that's when we're talking about the way that Vance Worley really battled in those first 2 innings, and the Mets didn't get anything, and it really changed the whole complexion of the game.
Mets have really been struggling. Outscored 82-43 since the 10th of August.
They're tied for second in the league with doubles. They were doing some things offensively pretty well there for a while, and then all of a sudden their pitching has gone south, and they just haven't hit, and they're losing a lot of games.
That's a moonshot. That's going to be a long home run. 2-run shot for Duda. It's a 9-3 ball game. And he crushed that one. That's the 7th home run of the year. Well, they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about, the Mets fans, in this series.
No, he had a fastball there, and as you said, a moonshot. That was way up in the air. Just no matter how far it was going to go. It was a fastball. I don't know whether he was trying to get it further in than he did, whatever. Out of the ballpark by plenty.
Here's Mike Baxter. Baxter 267, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. Chops it foul, and it's 0-2. Phillies are just trying to count down the outs here and finish this game off, and then go for the series sweep tomorrow afternoon with Kyle Kendrick on the mound.
And Stutes really want to have a couple innings, clean inning. He's been struggling a little bit and throwing some home runs lately.
He got that one in on the hands, and it should be an easy play for Valdez. It is. The side is retired. Now, the Mets did score a couple on the 2-run home run by Duda, but we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Phillies in control, up by 6. Here at Citizens Bank Park, trying to finish off game 2 against the Mets. The Mets go to their bullpen one more time.
Now here's Vance Worley, where we're talking about the first 2 innings. First and third, nobody out. Nice play here by Placido Polanco. Throws Pagan out at the plate, first and second. And then he gets that strikeout. That's the one Tom was talking about on Duda. Now here we go into the second inning when he had second and third, nobody out. He got Nice, he got Pagan, and then he got Tejada. Nothing for the New York Mets in the first 2 innings with all those chances. Phillies then went to work offensively, and they have a nice lead here as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Mets offense 0 for 6 in the first 2 innings with runners in scoring position.
Yep, you just saw it.
Shane Victorino leads it off against Bobby Parnell. Parnell, hard throwing right-hander. He saw his earned run average 4.10. To the left side, Tejada throws out Victorino, 1 away. You might be taking a look at the guy that's going to be the closer next year for the New York Mets. A lot of it depends on what they do in the offseason. Sandy Alderson, we talked about this yesterday. Sandy Alderson, the GM of the Mets, shot down theory that Mike Pelfrey would be used as a closer. Terry Collins, the manager, said he was just throwing out the idea. But Parnell, I mean, he could be a candidate.
Oh, yeah, well, he's got closer stuff. He's more of a guy you think about as a closer because he's a strikeout pitcher. And he has an improved breaking ball. He used to have that straight fastball that Phillies left-handed hitters hit him hard. And just watch him a little bit this year as a better breaking ball.
Polanco's had a good night tonight for the Phillies. Phillies have banged out 13 hits. He has 2 of them. Fights it off. 98 on that fastball.
Yeah, he has a big arm, Bobby Parnell. And whether or not he can develop something a little bit off speed to get him off balance a little bit, that'll be the key to whether or not he can do the job that you're talking about as a closer. There's a breaking ball there, especially to a left-handed hitter. But that nice over-the-top delivery that he has, you can't throw it hard enough to those guys. If you throw it down the middle, especially. And that's why we're talking. He has to just be able to command something else.
He's got the first 2 batters here in the 8th, and here comes Michael Martinez, his first at-bat of the night. Polanco retired. He's 2 for 5. Martinez came on a pinch run for Chase in the 6th and stayed in the game to play second. Michael Stutz looks like he's going to wind up pitching the 9th.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. You got 2 quick outs and then single homer. Still has a 6-run lead.
Fouled away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's another one of those situations. They want him to go out and pitch the 9th and nobody get up.
It's all part of the success of the starting staff that they've been able to do this so many times this year, where guys like Stutz and Herndon last night, they work back-to-back innings, and that's it out of the pen. Martinez hits that well. Pagan on the run. He gets to a spot and makes the catch. And the side is retired in order. So the Phillies go down quietly here in the 8th. Michael Stutz is hoping for a quiet top of the 9th. He has a 6-run lead to work with, and he's looking to finish this baby off. Strikes. Evans has scored one of the 3 runs. He's 1 for 3. By the way, the Cubs have made it interesting out in Chicago. They've pulled to within a run as Evans hits that toward left center field. Victorino on the run. It's over his head and it's off the wall, and that one rolls towards center. Evans around second, heading to third. And Valdez's throw not in time. So a leadoff triple for Evans. He has a double and a triple in the game.
See Charlie Manuel just looking on. That's just a high fastball that he tomahawks into the gap and left center field. Ball's hit really hard and then takes a crazy carom. That's one of those inside the park home run type caroms. Still don't want to get anybody up.
By the way, I think Victorino's upset with himself that he didn't play that well. He just slapped his hip out there in center.
Well, he got a little bit close, but that one took a really deep carom.
He's probably thinking, this is my home ballpark. Yeah. I should know the caroms.
What he could have done on that one. You're right, though, because he does know the park so well, and he's seen that enough times. In batting practice, they hit off out there.
1-1 the count to Tolley. The infield back, nobody out. 1-2 the count.
These guys are going to get booed over there in the club level because they went after that foul ball like I would have. They got out of the way.
Ball was hit pretty hard.
You bet it was.
Slider dribbled up the third base line. A run will score, but an out is recorded. Look at all the highlights of tonight's ball game and insights from John Clark, Mike Missinelli, Colleen Wolfe, and Marty Bystrom is here. Marty will do the clubhouse interviews, and your Facebook and message board questions are answered. It's all next on the Phillies postgame show. They are live from Sugar House Casino. You got Marty all prepped for his interviews?
And we were hanging out in those middle innings. As if you don't know that.
I called your wave off, by the way.
Oh, good. I heard.
I said, here we go. We're going to get the wave off.
You did. You deserved it.
The fanatic with the jersey on.
I just forgot my one book that I wanted to record some stuff in. I thought I'd come in, take the book, and get out of here.
Yeah,
oh, no.
It looked like you were up to something.
No. That's your area, not mine.
You startled Sarge. Down the right field line. That's going to be in for an extra base hit. So 3 extra base hits allowed by Michael Stutes. Still 1 out here in the 9th. And Mick Billmeyer goes to the phone.
Yeah, this is the thing they did not want to do. They just wanted Michael Stutes to have 2 nice clean innings and get this game over with, but not to be. And Rich Doobie's going to come out, combination of things here, just have a little chat, and also whoever's going to warm up, and
it's Matson.
Give him time to get loose.
Matson hasn't worked in a few days. Well, since allowing the grand slam to Ryan Zimmerman in Friday night's ball game. Right? That was the last time he worked, wasn't it?
Yes. That long outing that he had Friday night. Threw so many pitches, and he had pitched 3 days in a row at that point, Tom. So they said they would not pitch him the weekend. That was it. Definitely shut down. And then they didn't need him last night. And I don't know. Hopefully don't need him tonight.
Well, the off day on Thursday, this day game tomorrow, but the off day on Thursday may dictate that they want to get him into a couple games here if they have to.
Yeah.
Jason Pridey's the hitter with a runner at second. Pridey takes inside 1-0.
But the game plan was to keep Mick off the phone out there.
There's Mick Billmeyer. playable for Victorino. Turner's going to tag. Angel Pagan is up for the 5th time in the game. He started the ball game with a base hit.
And the Mets trying to do something positive, feel better about the game, so to go after him, in tomorrow's game, scoring here in the last 3 innings. After the Phillies had just put this one away early, you hope, with a 9-run burst.
Kyle Kendrick on the mound for the Phillies tomorrow. Mike Pelfrey for the Mets. Fly ball to left field. That should do it. Ben Francisco's under it, and he makes the catch. And the Phillies have won the first 2 games from the New York Mets. They do so by a combined 19-4 margin, as Charlie Manuel and the Phillies will go for the series sweep tomorrow afternoon. Phillies are now 5-0 in series versus the Mets this year, counting tonight's win. They've assured themselves 2 of 3 at least from New York, and they're 29-10-3 in series overall this season, and that is rather impressive. Time now for our WB Mason deliveries of the game. The Phillies used a couple long balls tonight.
A lot of offense for the Phillies tonight. Here Shane Victorino got a high fastball. He nailed that thing down the line, kept it fair, way back into the stands. A long home run for Shane as he pulled that baby. Here's John Mayberry with 2 men on base. Got a fastball or a cutter. It was hard to tell, out over the plate a little bit, and then he banged that thing into deep left center field. 2 long balls for the Phillies in that inning as they threw up a 4 spot and were never headed, leading the New York Mets tonight 9-4, and those are WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Vance Worley went 7 innings, allowed 5 hits and 1 run, 9 strikeouts. He's now 9-1. So some of the young guys have really stepped up for the Phillies. And one of those young guys is John Mayberry, who's down on the field with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.
Hey, Tom, thanks a lot there. Another big game there. You got to feel very, very happy about yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been feeling pretty good at the plate. Not trying to do too much, just trying to keep it simple. Get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on. And I've been fortunate, in the recent past to be able to get some of the balls to fall.
Since coming back from the minor leagues, you've driven in 29 runs. That's a lot of runs there, and really not playing a lot. How do you keep yourself so tuned up?
We're just taking, batting practice seriously, and obviously just trying to stay relaxed and have fun up there. I've been fortunate enough to be coming up to the plate with runners on base, and I've been able to come through.
One of the things that I've noticed, you've changed that batting stance since last year. You're going into the ball. You're not pulling off of any breaking balls there. When did you change, and who helped you change that?
I changed it kind of in my last stint down at AAA. It's kind of a culmination of Gigi, Charlie, Sal, and myself, just kind of coming up with that idea. And, I tried it, and luckily I had some success with it relatively early, so it made it a little bit easier to stick with it.
Well, way to go. Continued success. Thanks for coming on, and way to hit the ball.
Thank you, Sarge.
All right, Tom Wills.
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. John Mayberry referring to Sal Rendy, who helped him tinker with his stance. It's been pretty productive. The Phillies win at 9-4. We'll be back right after this to talk more.